As Americans across the country continue to protest the Trump administration's approach to immigration, many activists say they're now living in fear of retaliation against themselves and their loved ones. New at 10 tonight, KAKE's Nick Nelson spoke with one activist in Southwest Kansas about what he says are the disturbing messages and phone calls he's begun getting. Nick?
Yeah, Pilar, it was another weekend of protest against President Donald Trump, specifically regarding his immigration policies, as detainments and deportations continue. Now, some of the people who've spoken out here in Kansas say that the backlash they're receiving is affecting their everyday lives.
I've never felt like this in this country. I've been living here 25 years, and it just feels very unsettling this time. It's different. And my parents escaped political persecution in Mexico. And so for it to kind of start to feel like that from when my parents escaped, it definitely leaves me trembling.
Isidro Marino is an immigration rights activist in Southwest Kansas, where we've reported that members of the immigrant community have been detained by people claiming to be law enforcement. These detainments have received widespread condemnation from critics of the Trump administration, who at a protest this weekend criticized the effort to use the Insurrection Act to allow active military troops to patrol the border.
Which would grant quite a lot of power to the federal government with regards to immigration and the military, and I think it's worrying. It is worrying.
Marino says since he's started speaking out on what he calls the anti-immigrant activity in Southwest Kansas, he's been receiving threatening and disturbing messages and phone calls. He says he no longer feels safe.
I've been in contact with friends that are in law enforcement. They said definitely take defensive training as soon as you can. Go get firearms training, and definitely at least purchase one firearm to keep with you at all times, in your vehicle, in your home, just in case, like, you never know when you're alone.
Wichita protester Michael Powell says he's also in fear, not so much for himself, but people he cares about.
I'm scared for my friends and their families who are undocumented. I'm scared for my international students. My friends who are international students, who might deign to have a political opinion that doesn't align with the Department of State.
Now, part of the increasing fear is the ICE practice of not wearing clearly identifiable uniforms. There's been a nationwide rise in ICE impersonation since February, some of which have led to criminal kidnapping cases. Now, at that same time, we've reported that Immigrations and Customs Enforcement is not letting community officials in Southwest Kansas know who agents have detained. Nick Nelson, KAKE News on your side.